My name's Steve Feltham, full-time hunter of the Loch Ness Monster, and you're listening to the Unbelievers podcast.
Ed and Lorraine Warren, the pioneering paranormal investigators best known for their research into cases such as the Amityville Horror, the Enfield Poltergeist, and the doll known as Annabelle. But did you know that the Warrens had devised a way to effectively pierce the veil between the living and the dead that has never been fully tested? Until now. Tonight, the Unbelievers podcast is back for 2023 as we discuss a bold new entry into the pantheon of paranormal reality television, a program where three diverse teams of investigators in three separate locations will have their ghost hunting abilities put to the ultimate test in these highly spooky locations. So, join us now as we warm up those REM pods, shout the devil, and as always, break the curse of 28 Days Haunted. Right here in the program, we continue to learn to unlearn everything you know. Hello and welcome to the Unbelievers podcast. I'm Rus Ryan, and joining me as always is Drea Mora. Hello, Drea.
Hello.
Hello, Drea. And joining us, special co-host Jack Sass. What's up, Jack?
Hello.
Hi, Jack. And of course, soundboard engineer and producer Rob Okey.
Creeper keeper, let these people free.
What's up, guys? What's going on?
We come back from a break, and that's your first thing is let these people free.
Let these people free. Oh, because we're the people. We are free. Now we're free.
We're back.
We've been lit free to the world once again.
I like that.
Yes, and it feels good to be back. I want to thank everyone for joining us on our charity live stream that we ended last year with. Thank you so much for that. That was an amazing time. But it's good to be back, man. I feel like we've been gone too long, and we've got some business to tend to because we've been gone, but things have been going on in the paranormal that we don't have time for the pleasantries or anything right now. We got to get right into it. No, we do not. This is important business. It is time to talk about something we need to. 28 Days Haunted.
Two with my eyes closed, two with my hands tied up, yeah, I'll do my 28 days. Every time I look back, I would have done anything, even another 28 days. I'll be a killer.
Oh, yeah. I think that music can only mean one thing, is that we're back. And for this new year or new season or shit or something, we have a big one tonight. One of the biggest pieces of paranormal media to come out in the last few months, a huge show that features prominently someone that we are very familiar with here at the Unbelievers podcast. And we're, of course, talking about the breakout Netflix paranormal reality experiment, 28 Days Haunted. You guys excited for this, yes?
Woo!
Oh, yeah.
28 Days Haunted. That sounds strangely like, isn't there a horror movie that's really closely named to that?
I want to say, now when you hear
later.
28 Days Haunted, it does sound like something that is related to 28 Days Later. I mean, but it's nothing to do with the 2002 Cillian Murphy classic or the 2007 sequel 28 Weeks Later.
Oh, yo,
Squeakquel.
by the way,
Squeakquel.
that's a good movie, too. I don't know.
It's
Do you
a
guys
great
remember that movie?
movie.
It's fucking good.
Of course. Look, Cillian Murphy's one of my favorite actors. He was amazing in 28 Days Later. 28 Weeks Later, also great. But Days, both of those better than Haunted.
Yeah, sure, because this is about a virus that makes everyone a rage, right? That was the 28 weeks, 28 days
virus.
movies. Well,
This is a tactic that production companies use sometimes where they just title their things very close to something that's popular. I feel like it's a tactical, like a psychological tactic.
Do you think it's going to come back kind of like either they've got another movie in the works also, or they're just going to like rebroadcast like 28 Days Later?
I don't even think it goes that deep. It just goes, they hope that someone thinks that they're going to watch 28 Days Later and they click this show and accidentally watch this show. And so they get that accidental click.
Yes,
I think there's a lot of that happening.
That makes a lot of sense. Really,
Yeah.
it does.
oh, it
I
does.
like that close branding, yeah.
Yeah, that's that too close of branding, exactly.
Well, you're right about that. The branding, I think, is important to this. But this entry to the 28th day verse is actually part of the Conjureverse because Lorraine and Ed Warren, they had their own ideas about what could transpire in 28 days, as we will hear now in the introduction to this Netflix paranormal reality extravaganza, 28 Days Haunted.
Ed and Lorraine Warren are the most famous paranormal investigators in history. Some of their 10,000 cases were adapted into the biggest horror movies of all time. When the Warrens looked at the body of their work, they discovered that in their cases, it took 28 days to fully pierce the veil between the living and the dead. They called it the 28-day cycle, and they wanted to see if this potentially groundbreaking discovery held true with other investigators. But the Warrens passed before they could prove it. So their Paranormal Research Society, NESPR, now run by their son-in-law, Tony Spera, is ready to put the 28-day cycle to the test.
Right, so this is a cycle, this 28-day cycle, and according to the Warrens, that's how long it takes to properly pierce the veil. I don't know, have you ever heard of such a thing, it taking that amount of time?
Yeah, it happens every fucking month. It pierces the veil every fucking month.
Trey is very familiar.
Around
with
about
this.
every 28 days.
Ever since I was about 12, yeah.
Yeah, it's a little close, a little on the money there. And it's funny that they said that they just weren't they weren't able to prove, like they didn't have enough time. They were both so
first.
old. They were so old when they died. They had plenty of time to prove this.
I want to bring up, they lived fairly long lives. They didn't have time to prove this thing that
They didn't have 28 days to fucking prove it.
How much
at any
fucking
given
time do you guys need? You're both like
Jesus.
85 years old.
There's a lot of stuff going on. There's Annabelle dolls, there's Amityvilles, there's all kinds of kids flying around their rooms in London or whatever. They were busy people.
Yeah.
Such
I
like
guess.
a particular little piece of their investigative like journey to strap into, you know what I mean? We're like, oh, we got to go with this 20, like they said something about 28 days. We have to see if that's true. Like there's nothing hinging on this at all.
Right? I mean, haven't hauntings taken place over longer periods of time?
I was thinking about
Anyway.
the fact that people have lived in haunted houses for a while, but maybe we'll get into that.
So anybody who lives in a haunted house for more than 28 days technically can.
It's too
attest to
long.
this.
It's too long. It's got to be 28 days, no more, no less, all right?
Oh, okay.
But this series, it follows 3 teams of psychics and paranormal investigators in 3 separate haunted locations, and they have to stay in these locations for the 28 days, just as the Warrens foretold. And if they can verify this 28-day theory and pierce that veil, then this is a total game changer for paranormal investigators and timekeepers and everything else. And aside from the teams locked in these haunted locations, this program also utilizes like a war room that is overseeing this investigation. It's like almost think like Cabin in the Woods, where there's like this command center and they're watching everything going on here. Let's meet those guys right now.
NESPR's Tony Spera has investigated thousands of his own cases, but he's brought in paranormal expert and journalist Aaron Sagers to witness the experiment and help set the protocols and methods of research.
When Tony called me about this experiment, it was something I knew I wanted to be a part of. If we can prove the existence of this 28-day cycle, it would be a total game changer. You simply could not conduct a paranormal investigation moving forward without citing this experiment, and it would have a profound impact on how we approach the paranormal.
Oh man, you got the big hitters here. You got Tony Spera, Aaron Sager, and they think they're going to make history, that people are going to be singing songs about this investigation for hundreds of years if they can actually pull this off.
I mean, that you can't conduct a paranormal investigation anymore without citing this is
It's
ludicrous.
a bit, yeah.
No, totally. I mean, I will cite it every time, and it'll be more like along the lines of, this will be nothing like 28 days.
I think if someone a little more charismatic said that line, then you might be convinced. If he was like, but the way he put it, yeah, he almost put you to sleep trying to give you this information. Like, I guess so.
It just sounds too arrogant.
It's going to be a game changer. You're going to have to, from now on, no more overnight paranormal investigations. You got to do
move it
28
in.
days.
Yeah,
Minimum,
Zach
yeah.
Baggins would scoff at this and say this is bullshit. Like even, and I know he's all about the Warrens. He's a
It's like,
Warren
who has a budget
head.
for that? Yeah.
You know,
Zach
he
Baggins would
loves
just buy the
Warrens.
house and become fine.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He goes in for one night and he gets the ghosts to like literally go wild just from talking shit to him. So
Yeah, he
I
bounces
don't
those
know.
ghosts.
Maybe it does take 28 days to.
No, it does. Anything Zach Baggins done is now totally bullshit because he was only there for a few days. But as I mentioned, this program follows 3 investigative teams. They're all on 3 separate investigations. They've got one in Denver, Colorado, one in Prescott, Connecticut, and one in Madison, North Carolina. And these teams never intersect in any way. over 6 episodes intercut. The teams have nothing to do with each other. But for our discussion so this is not that confusing at all. We are only going to focus on one, the one that we really care about. And why do we care about one team in particular? Well, this clip might be a clue. Let's hear them as they arrive at their new home for the next 28 days, blindfolded, and remove them to reveal the horror that they must now endure.
Jereme, I think that we're in way more than what we bargained for. I do feel like something very tragic has happened here.
Oh.
Yeah.
See, I was afraid of that.
I am definitely feeling a lot of energy right now.
Yeah?
Yeah. I keep getting a woman at the top of the stairs, along with 2 little kids who keep giggling around the woman. You've got to be kidding me right now.
They were blindfolded, yeah.
Oh, crap.
Oh, my God.
This is a dry goods store.
A lot of energy coming.
All right, anyone recognize that voice? Yes, we're going to be discussing the team of psychic medium Brandy Miller and Cajun Demonologist and Popeyes aficionado Jereme Leonard. He is back. One of our favorites, Rob. I know you've got some great.
Is that a Popeyes?
No, this is a dry goods store, Jereme. And guess what? You were on this show, and you get to be there for 28 days. Yes,
Close enough.
We discovered him, of course, on the Ghosts of Morgan City episodes. He's been featured in many bonus episodes since. Give us another. I think you got another good Jereme clip in there.
Cool, Jeremy. Call in so we can chat about it.
Yeah, where is he?
Oh, yeah, I almost forgot about that when he stiffed Ted and Cindy on that show. That was our buddy Jereme Leonard. That's right. So yes, he is a big part of the show, and his team of himself and psychic Brandy Miller. They are a place called Madison Dry Goods Country Store and Museum. There's a lot going on in this place besides what we can discover, and. We already heard Brandy. She's getting some visions of what spirits that might be lurking inside. So our heroes enter this dry goods store museum of mystery. And while exploring the second floor, they come across a coffin. Do you remember this part, Drea?
Mm-hmm.
So what did you think when they immediately come across this? It looked like a museum display.
Yeah, it did kind of look like one of those rooms.
It is a museum.
Yeah.
They're in.
So it looked like one there.
But the shock they get when they come across a coffin, but it's not like they could are in some kind of dark Return of the Dead kind of funeral home situations or a mortuary or anything. It's just a very clean, nice display, but they immediately freak out.
Yeah, a little bit too much. It's like, what were you expecting? You're going to a place that, the show's called 28 Days Haunted. You know that you're going to be going to a spooky, scary place. And yet he's so put off by the idea that, I sense a tragedy here. He's like, I was worried about that. And then they see a coffin, like, oh my God.
Yeah, let's hear. I've got a clip of that.
Like, what are you scared of?
Let's hear their reaction to seeing the coffin.
Oh my God, you've got to be kidding me.
Holy shit. Are you shitting me right now?
Oh my God, my heart just sank in my chest right now.
No way in hell.
Is this a funeral home?
This in a freaking funeral home. My name is Jereme Leonard, and by day I'm a professional firefighter. By night, I am a demonologist. A demonologist is someone who studies religious texts and theology on the works of demonic activity and how it relates into the physical world.
There's a lot of activity that happens in here. I feel a lot of items that are moved, shifted. My name is Brandy Marie. I am a 5th generation psychic medium. It does go with my mother, my grandmother, my great-grandmother, and then my great-great-grandmother. And then my daughter is also psychic medium, the woman at the top of the stairs. She's following us around right now. Participating in this experiment is very important to me, but I do have to admit I'm really scared that it could be too much.
All right, so we got our 2 big intros there. You got Jereme. It's so hard to not say it just because of the way his name is written. I apologize, but
it's spelled Jereme. It's Jereme.
Like a Jereme-filled donut.
Maybe that's like a southern spelling of the name Jeremy, or maybe
he's the only one. We figured out he's the only person that spells his name. But it is hard to not say the Jereme team as well, Jereme team, because
Russ, it's too early in the season for these kind of puns. It's way too early for
Jereme
Jereme team.
I like him.
Jack likes it. That's why he's here. He loves the Dream Team. So you've got the team, and you got Jereme. He's a first-generation demonologist, and teammate Brandy, a multi-generational psychic, which seems to be the way with a lot of psychics that end up on TV. I think that's the best way you can get cred, is to cite the multi-generational.
Yeah,
To say, like,
nepotism.
if my mom and grandma had it, then I must have it.
It's nepotism in action right there is what it is, okay? You got to be born into it, and we all know how that goes, so.
Yeah, that's why I'm an alcoholic. It's a generational thing. I got to keep it up.
You get to claim that, though, you know? That's No one can take that away from you.
Wait, Jack, you're an alcoholic?
Holy shit. Are you shitting me right now?
Oh, yeah, just speaking on that reaction, the dude's a self-proclaimed demonologist and is afraid of seeing a fucking casket. Like, what if you never gone to a funeral? Like, you should be totally fine with seeing a casket.
I am a demonologist.
But I'm
coffin. I don't know why I like
scared of coffins and caskets. Fucking chicken shit.
So yeah, this is a setup, and this team, it stands out from the other two teams that this show follows because all the other teams are of 3 people, and it's just these two. Which at first you look at it doesn't seem like a well-rounded team. It's like they don't have like an Egon or even.
It is well-rounded.
With Jereme in there, it's pretty well.
Pretty round.
You know what I mean? Jereme, he's been eating well. He's been eating Popeyes quite often. I think
It's a little rounder than usual. I think.
Yeah, he's a big boy. He's a big boy, Jereme. But he's also a fireman, so I got a little bit different. I'm more respect for him now than I did before this because he's.
I want to know how that works out. Like how?
Yeah, they must not have a physical test, but they're just. Like, go get him, Jereme. Whatever you want to do.
All right. Since we're going to get into this early, I had a little bit about that later, but I will say this. Yeah, Jereme, since we last saw him on Ghost of Morgan City, has definitely got a little bigger. It's been a rough couple years for the world, pandemic and all that, but I'll give you an update. Just yesterday, Jereme Leonard posted a picture of him with a Nirvana shirt he bought that was way too small for him, and he loves Nirvana, and now he fits in it. Jereme Leonard is looking pretty good as of yesterday, so that's a little update on his physical appearance. But yeah, he looks fat as shit on this show. So I'll just go right out and say it. Absolutely. And I might reference that again. Later. But
how often do you check in on his social media, Russ? How often do you visit his pages and just check
nightly?
See how
I'm working on a show. This is research right now. What are you talking about? I'm not stalking Cajun Demonologist that much. Come on now.
We just got off a FaceTime with him a few minutes ago.
But look, back to the Dream Team. Who I've been stalking. So this team, they actually worked surprisingly well together. Just like here on their first night investigation, where Jereme has some pretty wild ideas about what he and this lady should do on their first night as a paranormal couple.
Dark energies are typically not what I mess with. Jereme's more experienced in it, so I'm gonna rely on him to protect me. There's the little kids. These are the kids I saw when I was outside. Something very tragic happened to these kids. I think they were murdered.
Tonight's gonna be entertaining.
Brandy and Jereme are starting to plan for their first night investigation. The computers at the locations are only being used to review investigative footage and synthesize data, and do not have access to the internet.
So tonight, Brandy, I'm gonna put you in a coffin.
Are you serious?
Oh, yeah.
You're really gonna try to put me in there?
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna put you in there, and I'm actually gonna pretend like I'm doing your last rites.
All right, I'm not cutting much out of this beginning part. It really does escalate this quickly on the first episode of the show. Yeah, it's a little creepy here in this.
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna put you in there, and I'm actually gonna pretend like I'm doing your last rites.
I'm just so happy you said last rites here. But this is a weird way to start this. I've never seen a paranormal investigator do this.
Well, he's got to be brave. He's the brave one in this situation. And, he's got to put her inside the coffin. So,
right?
Because he's the one he's more familiar with.
Well, you know why? He can't fit in it. So she's got to be.
You can't give the last rites yourself either. She's not a demonologist. You can't. And I want to point out that I just remember that Ed Warren was also a self-proclaimed demonologist.
You have to be self-proclaimed. Who else is going to proclaim that of you?
There's no you can't get certified in it. I don't think. Maybe you can.
Honestly, he did from a guy named Father Padre. I know way too much about this guy. There's a guy named Father Padre, which means father. But that is who blessed
Father. What? It's the fakest fucking priest I've ever heard in my life.
Well, talk to the Cajun Demonologist about it. That's the guy who trained him. That's his Yoda, all right? It's Father Padre. Padre Father.
He's just
Double
like
father.
Maybe he has kids, too.
Padre Junior, Senor Junior?
Senor Father Padre.
It's just Father Padre. That's his guy. But yeah, trust me, he's got the accreditations you're looking for. And I got to give it to Jereme on this first night. He is not fucking around. Here he is swaying Brandy into the coffin.
I mean, if you're scared, I understand. I don't blame
I'll
you.
do it.
I don't blame you. I mean, you're a trooper if you do.
It's the first, but I'll do it. Kind of freaked out by it, to be honest with you.
I want to challenge these spirits immediately. I want to stir up raw, emotional, spiritual, paranormal activity. And if those caskets have anything to do with what happened at this location, then putting Brandy in one will definitely invoke the spirits and put them on notice real quick.
Yeah, he's got 28 days. He might as well piss off the spirits like night one, right? Just get the full experience.
You're on notice.
I don't understand where he thinks he gets his power from. Since when is he in charge of what's going to go down here? He's telling her she's going in a coffin and not even really giving her any other options. Who put him in charge?
I feel like she wasn't gonna take charge because she's like scared also of seeing a freaking casket.
Was she seeing mothers at the top of the steps and feeling kids before she even walks into the place? So she's already spiritually and psychically charged up with this place. So he's like, well, what am I doing here anyway? I don't know. I'm going to put you in this display coffin. And
yeah, he's got to do something to seem like he's relevant at this point because obviously there's no demons to talk shit on. And if he's a demonologist, then he's only good if there's demons. So
yeah, he doesn't have a lot of experience with ghost children, or maybe he does. I like that we're bringing it back to ghost kids too, Russ. Don't we we have a long history with ghost children?
We
just
have a long
showing
history.
Up.
Yeah, there's a lot of ghost kids involved with this. They're kind of quiet. There's
it's like remember even Psychic Bigfoot had like a little girl ghost way back in the day, just like throwing it way back there, years and years and years in the Unbeliever lore.
Oh damn. I don't even remember that.
It's like a trope at this point where they like throw a couple ghost kids upstairs, you know? They're creepy.
It's good for the draw.
Well, they got to get it out. And he actually is able to get her into that coffin because, of course, he does. And while they're doing this, they deploy a device called a REM pod. And that's like a little cylinder with an antenna. And it creates like an electromagnetic field around the antenna. And it reacts to temperature changes. This is a fancy piece of ghost tech. I kind of want one after watching it.
Oh, I would, but they sound annoying as hell. They're very fucking loud and scary. Yeah, I don't want that to go off around me because it's just like, shut up. Like, stop, turn it off.
You got like LEDs in them.
There was a light in there, right, and there's a little field around it. And the theory with this thing is that if the ghosts want to be known, that they're going to break the field and the machine, lights up, it beeps. And with the pod in place and Brandy in the coffin, it's time for Jereme to perform Brandy's last rites.
As we gather here today to celebrate the life of Brandy, we all are struggling with grief for losing such a great person to the community.
There's kids by me right now.
But as we sit here, fear not to know that although one life has ended, she is now embarking on a new life.
Jereme, there's somebody standing at the head of me. It's a woman energy, younger female. Something happened to her due to a male. I see a lot of blood on beds.
You see a what?
But it's almost like there's multiple at the same time. I keep hearing get out. They want me to get out.
You need to get out?
No. Why do you want me out? It's a male energy right now standing at the head, like right.
Okay.
Yes, sure.
Something just touched the top of my head, Jereme.
Oh, wow. So there's a woman in front of her, there's a male energy, there's blood on beds, multiple bloods on multiple beds. Drea, you brought this in at the beginning. I didn't even mention these ghosts might be old-timey. I don't even want to make that joke anymore.
Yeah. Period beds, we get it. Yeah. That's definitely, that's where my mind went.
But is this the right move for investigating? Like, I mean, if you really are trying to take this cycle seriously and you're supposed to take so long to break this field, do you immediately go in there and just try to rip a new one into the side of reality like this?
I don't think so. I mean, wouldn't you want to kind of just scope the place out, see how certain areas feel? But that doesn't make good TV.
No, we're doing your funeral right here, right now. We're calling them all out.
No, we got to stir this shit up real good.
Oh, they did. and look, that's the cliffhanger that concludes the premiere episode of the show. They really hook you in. It's like, oh, what's going to happen? And
that was the end of the episode.
That was the end of the episode, the first one.
Literally the beginning. It's literally the beginning of it. It's like nothing happened yet.
Yeah,
nothing has
I
happened.
Would not have come back to this show if I didn't have to.
Well,
so
too bad you had
good job,
to.
those guys. Yeah. Yeah.
This show is ridiculous because there's other things happening. Like there's other groups out there, like Russ said, other investigations happening, and they sync them all up with each other in a way. But what it ends up feeling like, it feels like you're watching 3 bad ghost shows mushed into one bad ghost show. In the end, really.
Well, the thing, and there's some people in these shows I liked, but the other 2 stories that weren't Jereme's, I got them both confused, so it was hard. I was like, I just need to pay attention to Jereme. Like, I've seen them all through, but it's hard to concentrate on the other ones.
Yeah,
they do get
the Dream Team stood out for sure.
They did, definitely. They definitely did. And I didn't mention, if you weren't scared off already, but there is a warning that precedes each episode of 28 Days Haunted. It says, the investigator in the social experiment are facing extreme isolation and trauma in a hostile paranormal environment. Do not attempt. So even now they're really gatekeeping it. Like now you can't even do the 28-day challenge if you want to. Yeah.
Again, lived in a haunted house till I was 18. Lived in another haunted house for 6 separate years. Like a whole different, like I've done more than 28 days. I didn't mean to attempt it. So
yeah, but you didn't stop at 28 days.
Yeah, that's my bad. I should have age
Well, yeah, what do you get?
At age 1.
28 years later. Here we go. But that cliffhanger, it wasn't much more than what we heard in that clip. Brandy just gets out of the coffin. She comes away feeling that there was a family murdered there by a male energy. So now she's putting some pieces together. And the show claims the teams, you heard already, there's no internet. We made sure we say that the teams has no knowledge of this location before they arrive. But what Brandy says somehow lines up with the claims of others who have been seen spirits and heard voices saying, get out in the general goods store. The narrator tells her that. So she tuned into this place really quickly. And, hey, Jereme helped too, right? He did something. But that was the end of night 1. Well, yeah. Go on, Rob.
He did something. I don't know what exactly Jereme did. He just keeps saying, oh, it's going to get entertaining in here. And then he just says a bunch of bullshit. He hasn't done anything, though.
Well, he said a eulogy instead of last
was
right.
Not even
it was
sort of
such
eulogy.
a bullshit eulogy. We were strucken, sorry, I think he said strucken, about Brandy. She was a great person. We're so sad that we lost a great person.
Brandy, she's a fine girl.
I didn't know. Yeah, that's perfect. I don't know that.
I don't care. I'll stop
What
myself.
is the did this become a thing? Giving a fake eulogy for someone? When did that become part of doing?
I've never
ghost
seen that.
investigation?
Right? Why
I've
would that
never heard of
anything?
this. What is this supposed to do? It's supposed to confuse the ghost? Are they supposed to get offended by it? They're like, that's not. She's not even really dead. We got to haunt the fuck out of them. What is the? What are they trying to do here? I don't understand.
That first part you said, I think, was right. They're trying to confuse them.
Just trying to confuse.
Yeah, it's
the
not
ghosts,
even
and they're like,
provocation so much. It's like, what is going on? This lady's
who
going.
are these 2 dorks?
Yeah, they're
that's
just
literally
curious.
what the
They're
ghosts
just
are
like,
saying.
the fuck are these guys doing? Yeah.
Hey, whatever works, all right? This is they're going to pierce the veil. This is only night 1, and that was the end of night 1. And, this is when normal investigations would just end. But this is not normal because it's 28 days. And we are on to phase 2 of this paranormal social experiment. And phase 2 is days 2 through 7. So day 1 is just a whole phase. And but these days are crucial, Rob. According to Ed and Lorraine's son-in-law, Tony Spera.
Who?
Look, he's one of the main guys in this. But I guess not much happens for a while because when we catch up with Jereme and Brandy, we catch up on night 5. And now Brandy is convinced that she's in communication with the oldest daughter of a dead family. And this spirit talks to her about being pregnant and telling this father figure energy. And then she sees the beds with bloods and the bloods on beds again. And there's also a baby mentioned. She's getting a lot of stuff going. Jereme, not so much. But after her psychic session with this daughter spirit, the narrator lets us know what's really going on, man.
Brandy's psychic abilities are connecting her with members of a murdered family. In 1929, the Lawson family, including several young children, was violently murdered on Christmas Day. All of the bodies were embalmed and held at what is now Madison Dry Goods. But who killed this family and why?
There's something dark over here. I feel like I'm being surrounded right now. It's coming from the attic. It's something that's with the father energy. Something very dark. My back just felt like it was on fire. Literally like a hot spot right on my back. Like very hot. It felt like somebody took something really hot and put it right next to my back, and I could feel the heat from it.
My freaking head's got goosebumps even.
Oh, hey, Jeremy. I didn't know you were still here. But yeah, did you catch what the narrator said? So this family, the Lawsons, were murdered on Christmas and then embalmed and were held here in this can shop funeral parlor. That's a lot of connection to a murdered family, the place where they prepared your body. That's almost a very cliche way of a spirit going. I don't think you go haunt the funeral parlor.
Especially the whole family, like as a family.
All of them are there. Yeah.
That is weird. It kind of makes you question the whole idea of like, where do you haunt if you're a ghost? Like, do you go back to where you're like spent most of your time? Do you stay where you died?
You go to your
end
home.
up at the fucking funeral home?
The dry goods store now.
You go to the dry goods store.
You haunt that one bathroom you went to that one time?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it was a really great bathroom. Good. Yeah. I'd go back. So I think it has a lot to do with how you died. And then and then what point of life you died in, like the manner. So it doesn't make sense that the entire family would be haunting the place where their bodies were involved. Yeah.
So they didn't
feels
die
weird.
there.
No.
So they died somewhere else. The bodies were just held there.
So the dark thing though is there. So like whatever killed them is also with that. Like it went with them as well. So maybe. The spirit, the demon, I don't know.
It's such a convoluted concept to begin with.
This is why we would be a better team than them, I guess. I don't know. We'll push that later.
So.
Oh, yeah.
Logically breaking it down, which they're not doing.
If we had 28 days, we could nail it.
Because we would use logic a little bit.
Yeah, it would be Team Rus, Okey, Drea, Sass. Team Rods, man. We could do this. But everything is telling them to just get up and investigate the attic. So Psychic Brandy and Jeremy, who is now demoted to cameraman, at least he's got something to do here, cameraman Jeremy, even though this house is full of cameras, somehow he has to hold a camera too. Right? They go to where the story takes them, and Brandy learns even more in the spooky museum of dry goods attic.
She just sat down next to me, the oldest daughter. She's bringing them all forward to me, the family. The kids are standing right here. The father is absent, though. I feel his energy, but it's very distant from theirs. I don't know what's good. They keep showing me the image of me being shot, and I'm blown back to the wall. And I literally just fall down. It's like I can feel the children wanting to run, like they're running and hiding, but they didn't get a chance to escape. All I can see is just blood everywhere. She shows the shotgun in her father's hand. And then multiple of the kids gone, dead, blood everywhere. Almost like the father murdered his family.
Almost.
Oh, shit. There's someone trying to come up these stairs.
Something's over here telling me to get out, but it's not human form.
Whoa. Now they have a non-human entity. Boy, I hope it isn't anything like, I don't know, a demon? Because if so, actually, I know a guy who has experience with such things. And yes, that is what's getting set up here. So yes, she's witnessing the whole murder of this family, not at this place, at their house, some other time. Sure, with a shotgun.
Oh my, that's a demon.
I mean, that's the best place. I mean, that's why they bring a psychic, right? Because she's able to come up with any explanation.
She's just watching this whole like a movie. Like if she's got to be one of the world's greatest psychics. Like she has.
Apparently, she could do this from her house because she's not even at the place where the fucking murder happened.
No, this is where the energy is. This is where whatever. Now there's non-human entities involved.
Remote psychic. Yeah.
Oh boy,
that's where the murderees went.
Ah.
So yeah, it's.
I mean, you're not wrong. That's actually a pretty good point.
Good work, Sass. Good job.
It's like an
that's
hourglass.
How it works, right?
You got all the sand up at the top of the hourglass and all the sand at the bottom. The funeral home is that little choke point that all the sand has to pass through. That's where all the energy stays. It makes no sense
like
whatsoever.
They get trapped like a filter, right? Totally. Yeah. I can see their logic and how it, I think we're all in agreement that is still.
All right. Well, like sands of the hourglass, this team is now slipping onto night 10 after going through this. So night 10 is when
it's been 10 nights they've been in this place together?
No, they're about to jump to night 10 from that. I was like night 2 or something, like 5. It was 5 nights, whatever.
Oh my God.
So at night 10, you would. No technology, Rob. You couldn't do anything. You couldn't even.
That would make
sit in an old boring dry goods store.
Yeah, you get the computer, but no internet. So it just, I'm used to that.
I was going to say, to be fair, they did show them playing on computers and stuff. And they're like, they didn't have internet. I was like,
yeah, this sounds like bullshit.
We broke the Wi-Fi
signal. Come on.
Anyway,
Totally.
we're believing everything else. We might as well stick with this premise. But they jump to night 10, where it starts to feel like the teams are sent to these locations to just figure out a mystery. Like it's the way it's playing out. And now they know that this father energy killed his family, which is impressive that they learned this.
Father energy as opposed to Father Padre?
It's Father Padre energy might come in later, but they do want to go deeper and figure out why this happened because, I don't know, you're stuck here for 18 more days. You might as well do something, right? So Brandy decides that the funeral viewing room, that's probably another good place to go again if they're going to solve this mystery. So along with Jereme, they make contact with the dead mom of the dead family. And after a Jereme prayer session, they finally get some answers.
Jereme?
What?
She keeps showing me 2 caskets in here from small children. Were these your 2 small kids? If it were, thank you. Are you keeping them safe from their father? Thank you. Do you know why your husband killed your family? Thank you. Jereme, she keeps showing me her pregnant daughter. Did the murders have something to do with your daughter being pregnant? Did you hear that?
Spirit of our God, Father and the Son.
Did you just hit that?
No. Spirit of our God, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, most holy Trinity, descend upon me. Please purify me, mold me, fill me with yourself, and use me. Vanish all forces of evil from this place. Destroy them. Vanquish them.
Jereme!
What?
Are you hearing
Do
that?
not let me stop. Destroy them. Vanquish them. I banish from me in this place all curses, hexes, spells, witchcraft, black magic, diabolical assignments, male face, and the evil eye.
Whoa, Jereme is fired up. He's got the spirit running all through him through this one. I love this clip.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
man. I mean, just saying all kinds of words that aren't
I'm going to yell
there.
this at Mardi Gras for sure.
Fill me with yourself and use me.
Wow. Literally no difference between that and this.
Creeper keeper, let these people free.
Like,
which
so
one was
similar.
which?
So similar.
I couldn't even tell them apart, those 2 clips.
I like how he also lists things he's into. Hey, ladies, Jereme, what are you into? Well, I'm into
Hexes, spells, witchcraft, black magic, diabolical assignments, male face, and the evil eye.
Is it male face?
Yeah, male face.
And
Did
the
he mean
evil eye.
malfeasance or male face? What is male face?
It must be the southern way of pronouncing it.
I guess.
I imagine that all of those things are sitting in a room together, and then as they hear their names get called, they're like, "Oh, that's me." And
they grab their club on the way
I'm
out. They're like, "We've been called." 'Cause
that's
he does refer to it as spiritual warfare, and he wears a spiritual armor, and he calls upon spirits to help him. He's a demonologist.
Spiritual armor?
Yeah, he's not messing around. He heard the word dark energy. He's like, "I'm here. I did it. I did a fake funeral, and now I've launched a
Now
demon
it's
to be here." So yeah,
Whoops, all demons.
Night 10 is wild. Great stuff because you could yell.
Fill me with yourself and use me.
So he's being filled with all the malfeasance and the evil eyes are all in him. So now we get to jump to night 15, way later, where Brandy has realized that every time Jereme does this power of prayer ability that he did there, that's kind of what he calls it, his power of prayer, that the spirits,
Power of reading shit wrong.
are taking out their vengeance on Brandy and not on Jereme. So he's calling in all this stuff, but he's basically attacking her when he starts screaming like that because all the spirits are taking out on the vulnerable Brandy, as she explains here.
When you speak that, I don't feel right. Like I feel like something is not wanting you to do that.
Well, why don't it come confront me then? For the God will not forsake his people. Let not your heart be trembled. He will
Jereme,
not forsake
Jereme,
you,
gotta
nor
stop.
destroy
Jereme,
you. What?
you gotta stop.
What?
Hey, look. Hey, Al. Look, move your hands. Move your hands.
I think I know who impregnated the oldest daughter, but he doesn't want me to know.
Before tobacco farmer Charlie Lawson murdered his family, it's believed a dark secret was about to be publicly revealed. That Charlie had impregnated his oldest daughter, Marie.
That's not good.
The fuck? This is like a spooky Jerry Springer plot now. Like, what is going on? I have no idea that this is where they're going. This is some weird ghostly incest thing or like murderous incest family is what they're investigating.
It's
Murderous ghost
up,
dad.
man.
You are the father of your fucking daughter's own child.
Who
Jesus
you killed.
Christ.
Like, yeah, this is a very tangled fucking web.
It is.
Yeah.
While they're trying to figure all this out, yeah, Jeremy's just doing this. He's going,
Randy, look. Hey, Al, look, move your hands. Down.
What?
It just says Jeremy noises. I wasn't quite sure what that was. But yes, that was from that clip.
I was like, is this what he sounds like when he's eating cereal or just... Because, man, there's so much footage of him just eating.
This is when you have way too much time to spend with these ghosts, where you start learning way too much about their personal lives. Like, it's one thing to recognize them. Now you're like, all right, wait, what's going on? The dad had sex with the daughter. This is getting fucking gross. And there's a
They're just
baby.
taking every little just feeling and like, oh, I get the feeling that this might have happened, but that no, it's concrete now. Like, this is definitely what happened. So now, and they just keep on bringing other elements into it. I'm like, man, you guys should just like write. Just be writers.
So they've been 100% correct this entire time.
We don't even know.
Well, the narrator's going to confirm everything.
They're going for it.
So far, that's what I'm saying.
They got a great average going on. They're nailing every part of this story. They're figuring out. And this father energy, it does not want these TV folk finding out his secrets, so he lashes out at Brandy through EVP. But Jeremy, he's not having any of it.
He said, get her. I'm a psychic medium in a goddamn funeral home with negative energy and a murder. I have nothing left.
I can promise you that is not going to happen. The only way you're going to get to her is to get through me.
If I bring this home, who's gonna help me? Seriously, who's gonna help me? Nobody. You guys still get to live your life. This is not a joke. Okay, I'm not taking this shit home with me.
Back off. I said back off!
I'm tapping out. I'm done.
I said back off! Like, what, dude?
Rob, did he not give you like Chris Rock vibe or Chris Tucker vibes?
Yes.
Off. I said back off!
I said back off! There's no emotion in that either. That's just like Jeremy just being Jeremy. That's literally...
That's like how he talks to his dogs or something,
it's
I bet.
The same.
I said back off my Popeyes.
But this one, it starts getting nuts to the point where Brandy is about to throw in the towel. I liked her earlier too when she's just like, look, every time you do the prayer thing, something happens. She just starts praying and confronting firm. She's like, stop, pull it back. But so she's, she doesn't want to bring this home with her. She believes that this spirit's going to get attached to her, that a lot of damage is being caused. We can see some great scenes of them, talking it out, smoking cigarettes together. Which you don't see a lot of smoking on Netflix still, which I thought it was kind of cool.
What happened? She was a few minutes ago. She was like, "Oh, like if there's ghosts here," it's like, "Thank you," and then like now all of a sudden, "Thank you," and then whatever happened. Now she's freaking out. She's going fucking nuts. She gets crying, hysterical.
I think that's part of what drives a person crazy. Is like you have to be stuck here in this house for 28 days straight. That's what the Warrens said to do. That you don't get to leave somehow.
Do as we say, not as we ever did. We had nothing but time. We knew what would happen. We just thought it would be funny, maybe.
Jeremy's over here throwing rocks at the beehive over and over again while this lady's just getting stung
the hornets are just stinging her constantly.
She's like,
and so she's about to
angry.
She's about to split, but if Brandy splits, Jeremy realizes that he cannot do this alone. He doesn't have another teammate. Everyone else has a 3-team. They're a 2-team. So, and he's not a psychic or anything. But thankfully, for the show's sake, thankfully, and for Jeremy's sake, Brandy does want to stay. She feels that whatever it is, be it father energy or demon, that whatever this is tormenting this dead family ghost and preventing them from slipping through the middle of that hourglass, as Jack put it. They can't slip through. So she wants to help them do that. Makes sense, right?
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah, I guess.
So she stays in the Dry Goods Museum on one condition, that they have to bring their beds downstairs and sleep next to each other in the store window, which was a fun touch of the show. That they're just sleeping in the display of the museum window, the dry goods museum windows. Just their beds are down there now.
I imagine this went down similar to the coffin thing where he was like, "You're sleeping with me tonight," and she was like, "I am," and he was like, "Yes, you are, and we're going to do it in the window." And
we're doing it in the window.
All right, I guess so.
It was her insistence because she was the one who couldn't sleep.
No, it was her idea because this was she's like, the only way I'm staying here, we're breaking these beds down here, so even the people on the street can see what's going on here, maybe. But things get better after that. It actually works for her. They get some sleep, and a couple days later, they again attempt to contact this evil demon father energy by using one of our favorite things, the spirit box. And this time, they go into the tobacco room. The show is very cluish, I will say, because they're all like, all right, we're going in the tobacco room with the spirit box and with Jereme. And this time, the spirit talks back.
Sounds like Charlie.
Did you say your name was Charlie?
Holy shit. Charlie. Charlie, listen to me. Did you just make a noise upstairs? Charlie?
What would cause you to do something so horrible to your family?
Man, I got a freaking headache. Oh my God.
Charlie, I need you to stand back. I said out.
You want us to get out? We're dealing with an entity that calls itself Charlie. Maybe it's the dad, maybe it's not. However, it's powerful.
Okay, so they have a name and a ghost saying get out. That has to be a first, right? A ghost saying get out on a REM pod. I think there's like a setting on REM pods and stuff, like you can push the get out button.
Yeah, I literally think I can just look up get out on our thing, and I'm pretty sure that we've got we've got one.
About 5 sound clips.
Get out. And I got out.
Not exactly, but close enough.
That was good.
Well, look, play the next clip. I have another clip of this communication with Charlie, and for some reason, a little kid wandered into the tobacco room during this. Let's hear.
Charlie, listen to me. Did you just make a noise upstairs? Charlie?
Ow! Ow, Charlie! Ow! Charlie! That really hurt!
Man, I got a freaking headache. Oh my God.
Charlie?
Yeah, this Charlie's becoming a real problem. He's giving people headaches. He's biting kids up there. This kid's crazy.
Russ is just dropping 10-year-old memes into the episode.
Look, him yelling Charlie. I immediately thought of Charlie bit my finger, okay?
We are showing our age right now. There's people who are so old listening to the show, they don't even remember that.
Exactly. This is new to them. That was a little kid who ran on the set. Had nothing. That wasn't some boomer meme we just did. So we've been documenting this. So besides the part with the coffin, Jereme's been pretty quiet in the first half of the show. It's been a lot of Brandy featuring Jereme up to this point, but no more. He is done with the coddling of these demon dads, and you're going to love this, Rob. He's ready to do some Baggins-style provoking of the entity known as Charlie.
I don't think Brandy's approach is working. I mean, calmly asking Charlie questions is not going to get us anywhere. So tonight, I want to see if we can provoke this entity that calls itself Charlie and find out if he's the father from the photo who we believe killed his family or if it's something demonic. I've come here to address the spirit of Charlie. I want to know what kind of sick man would kill his entire family, including his kid. You killed your entire family in cold blood. And if anyone deserved to die that day, it was you, Charlie. You know what, Charlie? You deserve to rot in hell for what you've done.
Wow, he's really throwing some shade there. What do you think Charlie would think of Jereme? And they're hooting and hollering in this place. Like Jereme's Charlie's probably an older spirit at this point.
That's kind of what I think about with most of these shows. Like when investigators are in there just like saying shit, or whether they're asking questions for EVPs or not, or just wandering around being like, oh my God, what was that? Oh my God, bro, look over there. The ghosts are probably just like, the fuck? Like just staring at them like, what the fuck are these guys doing? Like, quit asking me that question. Like,
literally like a 100-year-old cowboy in the corner watching them, just like, what even is this? What are they doing?
I don't feel like answering any of your questions. Like, I'm just gonna sit here and just hope that you go away.
I was supposed to touch this blinky oil can. Like, what is this thing? Why am I here? Yeah.
Kids might want to mess with that shit. So, but yeah, let's ask a murderer to like, please play along with our stupid fucking shit.
Or a demon. He doesn't know that Charlie, he doesn't have the internet, so he doesn't know if Charlie is the dad or the Charlie demon. They don't know anything, supposedly. They don't know anything.
He seems so sure about it now, though.
Right?
Before he was like, I don't even know
convinced.
what Charlie is, but now he's like, you're going to rot in hell for killing all of your kids.
You
like,
shot
you
your
sound like you made up your
daughter in
mind.
the face. I don't even want to say what you did now. Yeah, I feel like,
It'd be amazing if like the ghost that is actually here is like none of the above, and they're just like, what? Like, look, I'm trying to tell you my real
I
name.
was the stock boy at the can store last year.
Yeah.
Like, I just died. Like,
I'm sorry, I had a really fucking bad like stomach bug that killed me. I'm trying to tell you my name, and no one's listening. Yeah, okay, it is Charlie. Why am I a sick fuck? Like, what did I do?
But no, they have to have it right. I mean, come on, he's got psychic brand. They're all helping out. This provocation worked, though. And Jereme is about to witness the firepower of this fully armed and operational Charlie spirit.
Brandy, get out of here. Go, please. Get out of here.
I felt it and I heard it.
Get off of me!
That is not Charlie. That is a demon.
In the name of God, by the cross, and the resurrection of Jesus, I say, get back! Get back!
Jereme.
What?
Come down here.
Get down there!
Shit ain't worth it to me.
Get off of me!
Whoa. It's getting intense. And it is not Charlie. He's definitely engaged in mortal conflict with a demon. Yes, this is when it becomes pretty much clear. And man, that kind of takes the sting out of that burn from that hell line he had earlier. Remember when he was like, you're going to rot in hell for this? A demon felt like, well, I mean, that's fine with me. Like, it's kind of where I'm from. Like, who are you yelling at? Don't threaten me with a good time, right?
Right. If he's like such a demonologist, it's just the way he approaches it is, I don't know, like any person off the street. He seems a
little too surprised
the Bible.
by the idea of a demon being involved at all. It's like, well,
I like how he instantly just loses it. Instantly, as soon he's like wants to fight this thing for 10 minutes. He's talking shit, and then finally it touches him. He's just like, "Get off of me!" Like he's terrified. Was not ready for it. Was not ready for that shit.
It came at him all spider monkey.
Brandy nopes out so quick. He's like, all right, I'm done. You're screaming now. Going like,
peace.
Off of me!
He did also yell at her to leave. You know, like get out of here, go downstairs. And she's like, "Yep, I felt that. I know." And he just keeps like, "I said get," but then he's yelling at both of them. Get down there, Brandon. Get off me.
There's like a
Brandy's the demon.
Michael Scott sort of quality to him screaming there too. He's just like, no.
I think. Hold on. I think I have another soundboard clip from this. I have something called Jereme Hulk. I'm just hoping it's from this. So let's hear.
Jereme.
What?
Come down here.
Get down there!
Okay, maybe he just hulks out later. Oh, maybe that's a spoiler. But so this provoking of the demon, this was a huge turning point for the team because after this, Jereme's whole demeanor just completely changes in this show. He starts complaining about headaches constantly. He stays in bed for an entire 3 days. He doesn't do anything. And for a 28-day investigation, 3 days is a long time to just waste time doing nothing. So he does nothing for 3 days.
It's almost 10%.
It's a good percentage of this show. But now we are being led to believe that Jereme might be possessed by this demon, which, as a demonologist, that should be totally unacceptable.
Shouldn't happen.
That's the most unacceptable thing, that you're going to be the one getting possessed. And this is the expert on spiritual warfare. This should not be happening, but Brandy is concerned about this and has this to say to a very emo Jereme.
I need to know if this is a situation that you think is going to get any further to where you could potentially harm yourself or harm someone else, or...
Only because you're scared I'm going to snap and kill you.
Wow. Jereme's behavior is making me think there's something dark attached to him. What if the same thing happened to Charlie? It very well could have been some kind of demonic possession that made him decide to kill his wife and children.
Wow, she moved the plot along with that one too. So, okay, not only is the demon involved, but the demon probably possessed Charlie and it made him kill his family. And wait, hold on. So, was the pregnant daughter the demon too? Like, how far are you going with this to exonerate some dude who knocked up his daughter?
Demon baby in her womb.
Seed.
Fuck, man. Dude, he doesn't sound good. Josh, someone needs to get him some Popeyes stat. He is
There's
not
no
acting like
Popeyes
himself.
here. No, the way they are, he's completely locked off from Popeyes. He can't have anything. I will mention, I didn't clip it, but I did listen to something with him where he mentioned the only food that they had in there was like cereal and pizza rolls. He mentioned having pizza rolls in there and something else.
What?
Yeah, I swear to God, that was one of the things is he said this is a museum. There was no kitchen or anything. He said they had a hot plate and they ate cereal and pizza rolls and other things such as that.
Just a hot plate? They warmed up pizza rolls?
This is, well, I don't want to reveal how I know that info. I'll get into that later. But
I bit into a pizza roll and it knocked me out for 2 days.
2 days, but he was maybe knocked out for 3 days. Oh, see, that was a little thing he gave away. I'll let you know where that came from later. But so while Jereme is once again just catching some Z's during this, Brandy grabs her gear and she communicates again with Charlie. And yes, Charlie confirms, yeah, the devil pretty much made me do it, a demon. So everything she speculated before turns out 100% right. She tells Jereme, and he's still out of it. He's like, sweet. He's totally checked out at this point in the investigation. And another weird thing he does is Jereme starts writing the words troubles can cause in one of Brandy's notebooks, which sounds like a very emo thing to write in someone's notebook. He's going through he's in the mid of his emo phase during this. But they found out later that was also written on a note that was found on Charlie's dead body, the father of the murdered family. Amazing, yes.
Troubles can cause what?
Exactly.
Death?
Anything.
Murder?
Demons, shotguns, whatever.
They can cause a terrible TV show.
We can also bring forth evidence. So Brandy confronts Jereme with this revelation, and he gets angry. He's in a bad mood. And then he breaks down and actually starts crying on the show. He has his Oprah moment where he starts crying, and he starts to put it together. He's like, oh, yeah, maybe this dark spirit is making me a complete lazy douche. So he comes around and he vows to overcome, and he's going to finish this mission with his teammate. What did you think of that scene, Drea, when he kind of pulled it all together?
I don't have any thoughts on that at all. It was like the least. It was very underwhelming.
It really was. He's so like down on himself for so long in this, and then she's like, actually, what you're writing is what the dead guy wrote in his thing. He's like, So now he has to get up. He pulls himself together. Our heroes have to stand on a united front. And the real fun begins now as Jereme introduces us to a new piece of ghost investigation tech that I can't wait to talk about, and neither can he.
After Brandy's talk with me, I've decided I need to fight this thing. So I want to use the God helmet, a tool that I've used in the past. Concept behind this is that the magnets will allow you to open up that part of your brain that psychic mediums use. I need to fight this demon that's trying to possess me. In order to do that, I need to make a psychic connection with the spirit of Charlie.
When a psychic taps into paranormal energy, it's often difficult to filter out spirits and maintain prolonged connections to them. But the God helmet acts like a switchboard, using neuromagnetic pulses to help psychics target specific entities and communicate one-on-one. In his weakened state, Jereme hopes this will be the boost he needs to block out the dark energy and channel a private connection to Charlie for the first time. Only then can Jereme finally see the demon's influence on Charlie for what it is and how to overcome it.
Yeah, baby, the God helmet. So this thing came up recently on our episode about alien abductee Jim Sparks. Remember, we talked about them using the God helmet to like simulate religious experiences. It was brought up in a much different context. This one Jereme has is much fancier looking, though.
Yeah, you guys, listeners might know what this is from watching Hellier. It was employed during Hellier a few times.
Right.
Dana Newkirk is often one to put the God helmet on and do some weird shit.
Totally forgot about that.
Yeah,
Good
you've
point.
seen this before if you've watched Hellier.
Sure.
And it looks as ridiculous now as it did then.
His is the most ridiculous looking because his looks like almost like Magneto's helmet from X-Men, but it's got like a Ghostbuster aesthetic where it's got the exterior wires kind of exposed, like, and it's got lights. It lights up and stuff too. It's a very cool God helmet.
It's very X-Men. The whole thing is it's very Charles Xavier. Speaking of Charlie Xavier, if you're close, if you're friends. It's very similar. It is like, it reminds me a lot of Cerebro. When you see this,
well, he needs it.
Head.
He's in this weakened state. He's realizing now that whatever this dark energy is attached to him, and he's making him a lazy guy who's not fulfilling his contract with the show. So it's now time to face Charlie and this demon down again, but this time with the God helmet. So once again, clue, we got Jereme in the attic with the God helmet. Let's go.
Brandy, you watch my ass, okay?
I gotcha.
I'm feeling something. It's cold. It's very cold.
It's getting heavy in here.
Back. You better stay back. I'm telling you.
Careful.
Brandy.
Careful.
Gonna face this way. Oh, I could turn my back to whatever that is. Oh, shit. What did you do? What did you do? Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Take this off. Oh, shit. Oh, Jesus Christ. Something is trying to take me over. Feel my heart. Feel my freaking heart.
You're ice cold. You need to go to the hospital.
All right, well, that didn't go well because this episode ends with Jereme having to leave the museum store. He's broken the seal of being there, and he gets dropped off at the emergency room. Man, what a cliffhanger.
Oh, no.
So that is how night 24 ended.
Die? Fuck.
Yeah, I know. You leave off going, is he going to... Well, he walks into... Hold on. To be fair, they show him walking into the emergency room. So he wasn't like taken out of a stretch or anything like that.
I know. I mean, it wasn't an ambulance who picked him up. It was just the producer, like somebody in a van, just like some part of the crew was like, yeah, I'll take you, get in.
Yeah.
Like, that's it.
They say sometimes that happens. Though. There's been guys that have... They do that. They walk themselves in and they have the Widowmaker in there in the ER. You know, it goes down. It could. He's high at risk. This man. He shouldn't even be doing this. What is he thinking?
He's a little husky. I mean,
just a little, yeah.
It's a possibility.
You know about huskies though. They got
everyone's
big
got
bite.
to take care of each other. Yeah.
Watch out.
He's had several big bites.
Jack, what do you think about wearing a God helmet in a situation like this? You think that's a good idea? If you're really this far into a demonic investigation?
I'm not 100% sure what the God helmet does. I mean, I'm 100% sure what it looks like. And what it looks like it does is absolutely nothing. So
it does cross into that P.P. Warren territory, or the psionics maybe, or,
it really does. It's some Tom Brillock.
Yeah, it's very Brillock.
I can see Uncle Chucky sporting one of these for sure.
Listen, I'm not saying that the God helmet is bullshit itself. Jereme is one thing. The God helmet is another thing. I think it's all about who you put this thing on. I think that there may be psychics out there, and who knows what technology you might be able to make that can sort of, work with what they already got. So I'm not saying that this thing is completely like Joshua P. Warren bullshit, but I think when it's on Jereme's head, it's much less useful than it would be on, like, say, a very powerful
on
psychic.
Brandy?
Or Brandy, particularly.
That would make more sense.
Like, why would a demonologist use that?
Well, I'll counter it by saying, though, he's a demonologist who is supposedly possessed at this point. So is he letting the demon have access to a God helmet? He's already, if he's in this emo, I'm not doing anything for 3 days state, he's not being himself at all. We've observed enough Jereme during that whole, state where he just laid down. That is not him. From all the, programs and podcasts we've heard him on, it's very out of character for him to be in that state. But that's it.
It sounds more like Charlie is affecting him.
And he's, maybe it's helping him break out. I don't know. But so he goes to the hospital. And now for the thrilling conclusion, we get to the final episode. It begins on the morning of day 25. Oh, they are so close. And Brandy, she's got no idea if Jereme is okay. Then a van pulls up and drops Jereme off for awaiting Brandy. And here's their reunion.
What happened?
Don't ask me. Some things are better off unspoken. I think I'm okay. I think I was able to break free from whatever was trying to possess me.
What'd the doctor say?
Randy, it was horrible. He said what I had was almost unheard of. What happened to me wearing the God helmet allowed me to psychically connect to the spirit of Charlie. I was seeing what he saw and felt, and I understood and connected with the demonic entity that had power over him. The next thing that I knew, it was too much for my body. I had to go to the ER because I felt this thing was giving me a heart attack. So after being monitored overnight at the hospitals, the doctors determined that it would be safe for me to leave. I'm starting to feel back to myself. I feel like me again. But now I have a true understanding of what Charlotte was dealing with. And armed with what I know, I want to free this family and banish this demon back to hell.
Okay, wow, he's back. But during this return from the hospital bit here, the text on the show on the screen tells us that Jereme suffered, quote, symptoms of a heart attack and that they were unable to find any cause for this. Now, of course, I'm no doctor. I'm no medical professional. We are all just simple third-rate podcasters. But as someone who's been following this guy, as Rob thinks, stalking this guy for a few years now.
Is that a Popeyes?
It is hard not to notice how out of shape he had become. And I mean, he was nowhere near this big on Ghost of Morgan City. And I also pointed out earlier, he was smoking outside a few times. Not that I'm one to judge on that front, but if I had heart problems, it would not be a mysterious demon I would go to. I smoke, I know that. I'm not completely ruling out demons or God helmets as a contributing factor. But this guy is not the picture of health going in, because of course we know his history with
He's an Adonis.
Popeyes.
He's the exact picture of health.
Healthy as a horse.
But he's also a firefighter, which is a stressful job. The guy's under a lot of stress.
Right. I don't understand how he's a professional firefighter.
He does a great job.
There's not a lot of fires there.
I told you, he looks amazing right now. As of right now, he does look amazing as of yesterday. But all that aside,
like amazing.
He looks pretty cool in his Nirvana shirt. I'll give you props on that.
There's nothing wrong with being a little overweight. You know, sometimes I got
Not at all.
Yeah, I mean, I got a little something going on.
We all do.
We're allowed to kind of say this, but I mean, we're looking out for our guy here. We don't want him to have a heart attack.
Not at all.
So maybe,
not at all.
Maybe he shouldn't
It's
go
just
do this.
astounding to me that the doctors couldn't find any possible reason that would point to like a tiny
That's
little
the
bit of a
line that
reason
got
for
me.
a heart attack.
Because I've been
That's
to
it.
doctors recently. Yeah, everything. There's so many contributing factors. Just like on just a physical glance of the guy. Like I mean,
I'm like,
I'm not being mean. Overweight and smoking. I'm like, those are all terrible factors. Which he looks like he's doing much better. Say that. I already said that before.
That's good. And he gets to fit into his Nirvana shirt now.
And he's back. He's back in here. The team is back. They made it to the final night 27. Remember, this is 28 days haunted, not nights. So this is the last spooky time they get is night 27. And it's time for the final conflict. And they know what they have to do. Jereme, you heard him. He laid it all out. Jereme must face the demon and do his demonology thing, and Brandy has to use her powers to help slip them through the middle of that hourglass just right, the right position, throw enough sand in with them. So they're not stuck, and you don't want to be stuck in an old funeral home, dry grocery museum for eternity.
Hourglass.
They're not going to let that happen.
Dry groceries.
You couldn't script a better paranormal action drama. So let's get to the final battle, right? Holy shit, this is going on forever. Round 2, fight.
You better stay back. I am not running from you no more, and there's not a damn thing you can do about it.
Jereme, watch your back.
I have ran long enough. You put fear in me. You tried to distract me from doing what I came here to do, and I am not gonna let it happen anymore. Lord, banish all the powers of evil and darkness in this place for all eternity. Randy, do you hear that?
What was that?
I don't know. You can make all the noise you want up there. It's not gonna deter me. Get away from that door!
Whoa, Jim Peeler out here, dude.
He's got to get away from there. But he is like a Cajun Zach Baggins / Tim Peeler saying like,
What was that?
I don't know.
I like when he does that too.
What?
Get away from here. Get away.
I didn't know that worked on demons too, but that's pretty cool.
I mean, if you get mad enough, I guess they just respect that.
He's got to. Well, he's again. I don't know how the doctors let him out. They're like, no, just don't do anything too exciting.
Yeah,
the next day, he's like, God damn it, get back the hell, you goddamn demon! Fucking screaming his head off the next night. It's like, take it easy. You're on the last night. You've made it here.
Like he's yelling at the dogs in the back, just like, you goddamn dog, get the fuck out, get out of here, you demons, get out.
He's out here like fucking Gladiator, like fucking Russell Crowe in Gladiator.
Demons cannot do confrontation. It's just
yeah,
it's a known thing. You know.
They're very, very shy.
It's like, they're very passive aggressive.
I think it was him becoming aware
if you leave mean
of where
Post-it notes
It's like for some reason he didn't realize he was fighting a demon for so long that it took him over. And when he's like, oh, wait, demonology. Right? Oh, yeah, wait, I got that. Kablamo, get out here. You know, like you start screaming at it. So this confrontation, it gets even more intense or fucking nuts, however you want to look at it. Just play it.
God damn it! No, you will not! You will not! You stay back! You stay back! I will not flee!
What was that broke?
It was a vase that fell off the shelf. Listen to me. By the name of my Father,
Jeremy,
God,
there's
my
a shadow
Savior.
figure.
I will not give in to fear. I will not. I've done it too long. You get back. You get back. You get back. I'm going to make this known right now, right here, in this moment. You are banished, and I will end this.
Jeremy, be careful. Like, this isn't a joke.
I'm not gonna let this stop me. Just know that I will bring them home, my friend. I will bring them home. And you have no right to hold them hostage in death like you did in life.
Ooh, he is really giving this demon the business. The guy who just had a heart attack got all that out there. The next day he's fighting demons, man. He has a lot of things, and brave is one of them.
And tolerant, I guess, because Brandy is like the most annoying person to have on your team right now.
This is the best part. In the middle of all the intense shit, I know, he says,
what was that broke?
It was a vase that fell off the shelf.
Now shut up, I'm trying to fight the goddamn demon.
It was a vase that fell off the shelf.
What are you doing up there?
Yeah.
What is that?
Stop
what are
that.
those breaking noises?
If you don't stop making that ruckus, well, I'm going to spank you before I send you back to hell.
Yeah, she's thinking of the children, and she's like, the children are getting upset over here. I'm worried about Charlie, God damn it, and the demon,
What was
and the
that
father.
broke? Why does it matter what broke, Brandy? Like, shut the fuck
I
up.
say shit, Brandy, I know.
That emotion, man. He's really like, he's stepping it up, man. He's about to fuck around and win an award or win an Emmy or some shit.
About to win himself another heart attack is what he's going to do with that.
Or just have a heart attack. But yeah, he's like channeling his inner Brendan Fraser from The Whale. You know, you can really feel that emotion.
That's exactly what I thought.
I think though, his performance and this team, they definitely put them at the forefront of the show. They are like the main story they focus on at most of the conclusions of every episode, beside one or two. And the very closing of the actual show itself is all about this story. You know, the other ones are kind of smushed in the middle. But that last clip we heard, that was the big moment. That was Jereme at the height of his powers, banishing demons, being the protector, saving the day. And in this clip, we get some insight into the methodology and demonology on display for this final battle.
My job is to corner it, okay, to where it has nowhere else to go. Think of it as bright white light all the way around, just darkness here in the middle. So now darkness can't exist where the light is. Does it send a demon back to hell? Probably not. But I think at least I pushed the demon out long enough so that Brandy and I can free the family and cross them over.
I love it when a plan comes together. They did it just like they told us they would. They not only told us the entire story, they figured out how to do it as a team.
And they made us believe them.
Unbelieve them.
Yeah.
Rob's on the front. Rob looks very, very confused about this ending here. Not confused so much as a little skeptical about it.
It's anticlimactic, to say the least. I can't believe that this is where it ended. It felt like we were really getting somewhere. I feel like the only right way for this to actually have ended would have been for Jereme to have been killed by the demon.
No, that's not going to happen.
They tried.
They did try.
They tried.
They did. But he's a survivor. He got through it. And I haven't mentioned them since the beginning, but this experiment is being overseen by Aaron Sagers and the Warren son-in-law, who somehow wear the same clothes over the entire 28-day cycle. Every time they check in, really. I think these guys might have just filmed their bits in one day, but whatever. They really wanted to make a point with this whole experiment, and here they are with their final thoughts on the Jereme and Brandy 28-day cycle.
In this case of the 28-day cycle, the piercing of the veil allowed Jereme to make contact with the spirit of Charlie Lawson, but it also almost allowed something demonic to overtake him. We were risking a full-blown possession of one of our investigators before the team was able to banish this demonic entity. This is an example of just how dangerous it can be participating in the 28-day cycle. I think what we can take away here is that total immersion in a haunted location can really yield a diverse display of impressive results.
Absolutely, yeah.
Oh, yeah, wow. Of course, guys, great job. And after this, there was only one more scene, and this scene shows Jereme and Brandy visiting the graves of the family whose ghosts that they just freed from the can store, because that was the whole point of this drama, right, was to free these ghosts, stick them through whatever, the hourglass, whatever they were doing. It's very heartfelt. But just before the series is about to fade out, we hear a voiceover of Brandy, and she's talking about, why, wasn't it great that we didn't get possessed or anything? Just as the camera pans to Jereme, looking into the camera menacingly, implying that he's got demons running all through him again. They really did leave like a cliffhanger, leaving it that Jereme might be possessed. That was one of the most ridiculous and out of place closings to this supposed paranormal reality experiment. Like, even
did it take you out of it? Did it take you out of it, Russ?
At the very last scene,
the moment that did it for you.
That's what did it for you, Russ.
Even with the formulaic way that this whole thing transpired, though, I did not expect it to end like that. It left you with a bad taste in your mouth.
The whole thing tasted bad in my mouth.
I thought some of it was pretty well done. Mostly the other two stories
enjoyed
going
some of the
on.
taste?
Some of the other stories, maybe not this one so much.
So the next experiment is 28 weeks, right?
Oof.
Fuck no. They can't. Like, it's going to be 28 more days haunted.
Yeah, that's what it's going to be called, 28 more days.
28 more days, yeah. And I think team Rus, Okey, Drea, and Sass, that should definitely be included.
I'm the only one with the fucking first name. Otherwise, it'd be wrong.
Shut up, Drea.
It's
gotta work.
Funny.
It's either that or you're part of
shit work, all right?
Either that or you're part of Russ's occult and demonology services. So I was trying to give everyone equal representation. But so I don't know. I was left wanting answers, especially if Jereme is possessed at the end. So I had to look into what Jereme is up to now, because according to Rob, that's all I do anyway. And
I mean, it's just true.
Not surprised you looked into it.
I found something interesting. Now, if you guys remember, when we first discovered Jereme on the Ghosts of Morgan City episode, we found out that in the wake of that show premiering, Mr. Leonard started a podcast, the Cajun Demonologist podcast. You remember that? It had that great intro with the cough.
Boring.
Remember that? That was some great stuff.
Yeah,
that who couldn't edit any of his own podcasts.
That feels like it was a lifetime ago at this point.
Sure.
But yes, I do remember that.
It also had that great lullaby music and later a rap beat as a music bed. Well, strap in, because for this premiere episode of Year 5 of Unbelievers, I'm going to bring back a little Russ's Radio Roundup segment right now, because a new Jereme TV show means a new Jereme podcast. So let's hear the intro to Jereme Leonard's all-new podcast, available now, Paranormal Gumbo.
This is the Paranormal Gumbo. It's a big old pot of everything spooky and weird, with your hosts, Jereme Leonard and Nick Simons. Join us for dinner, won't you?
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for tuning in to Paranormal Gumbo. I am your host, Jereme Leonard, along with Nick Simons. We will have a new podcast that will air every Tuesday of the second and fourth week of every month, ladies and gentlemen. So make sure you get ready and get your podcast fix on.
Hell yeah, you got that schedule right? This is going to be every Tuesday, but only the second, fourth Tuesday of the month.
Fourth or something, and twice on a leap year.
That's not a lot to remember. You could say every other Tuesday, but I don't know. That might.
You don't. I mean, in my opinion, you don't have to say shit. Just put your thing out. You know. I mean, okay, that sounded weird.
Put your thing out.
That sounded weird. Yeah, I realized that.
What kind of podcast would do a crazy voice like that with an intro in the beginning?
It's ridiculous. It's totally ridiculous. I don't know where but look, no, I'm going to give credit where credit is due, because this podcast is much better than the Demonologist one. His mic sounds good. It is not drowned out with music, and he even has a co-host, Big Nick Simons, and I actually really like that guy.
Did we hear anything from him?
You really like him? You really like him?
I like
really
his
like
co-host
this guy.
Nick. Yeah, he's a skeptical ghost hunter, which is cool. I'm definitely team Nick. He was on 28 Days Later. On 28 Days Haunted, he was. God damn it! He was also on the show. He was on one of the other stories. And they give some good, in this first episode, though, they give some good behind-the-scenes insight on what it was like to be locked away for 28 days in the super haunted location.
Okay.
So in this first episode, yeah, they get kind of revealing at times during this. And Jereme had this to say about what really led him to being hospitalized. He gets into it.
The pizza rolls.
So when I put on that God helmet and I went up in the attic and I confronted that thing, and I ended up having a heart attack. So, folks, yes, when you seen me leave and go to the hospital, for one, I went to a real hospital. Number two, I had a mild heart attack, okay? Now, in the show, it's called a HIPAA violation. You can't just throw out anybody's medical records out there in public, okay? Medical records are very private. So that is why they put up that I showed signs and symptoms of a heart attack, but they could not find anything because legally they can't just come out and say, oh, yeah, Jereme had a heart attack, but I can, okay?
Yeah.
It's my life.
It's your
had a mild heart attack. But here is the godsend in a way. By me having that mild heart attack, Nick, it allowed me to get away from that location for about 12 hours to let that energy fade away to where I can gain back control of the oppressive state. Okay.
I mean, see, the Lord sends you what you need in this kind of spiritual warfare. And in this case, it was a heart attack. It was like, I know what's going to save you, my son. I'm going to give you a fucking heart attack.
It could have been anything else.
Yeah, if you need to get out of the house, you could have broken his arm or something. It's like way less permanent. He could have tripped down the stairs and got out, you know?
It could have been a smoke detector going off.
It's like a monkey's paw kind of situation, too. Like, God's like, I got to get this guy out of the house. I know. He's like, get me out here, God.
The worst possible fucking
you got it.
This.
Or Jereme's just a real half glass full kind of guy, if you know what I mean. Like, he's really looking for like the bright side of the situation. You know, he's one of those
Why would God do this?
Yeah.
Oh, I got it. It's just to get me out of there for a couple days. But he did come back stronger somehow, having an actual heart attack.
He was dealing with oppression. And when you're dealing with oppression, sometimes you got to get away. And 12 hours is perfect, honestly.
It was a perfect little break. It's a perfect little heart attack break. You come back stronger than ever the next day. And it is kind of fucked up for the show to just be okay with one of his contestants having like such a severe medical event. Well, Jereme speaks on that, and he relays the importance of keeping his spiritual authority.
So the producers did not want me to go back. Jereme, you just had a heart attack. You know, look, medical reasons, you don't need to go back. And I told them producers, I said, let me tell y'all something. If I do not go back there and gain back spiritual authority, this thing will destroy my life. I have to confront it. I have to go back. And after a while, I finally convinced them that I had to go back. And that is why you seen me challenge it. So what I had to do was take back control of the situation.
You will respect my authority. Get your ass to jail. Ow! 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 Sweet.
All right, that was him giving the demon the business. But I do believe that he had this heart attack. So you got to say, it's a little bit impressive that he finished the 28 days and having a heart attack during it. It's impressive.
I mean, it almost feels like this is like routine for him. He's like, oh, I had another gosh dang heart attack, but just set me back a little bit. But I had to regain authority as if he had the authority to begin with.
Yeah, he gets one of those a month that just so happened to happen that month.
28 days.
That was part of his cycle? No, come on.
This show was this close to being like a huge show. If he had died from having a heart attack while hunting these ghosts, if he had actually died, this show would have probably been really big. Like more people I think would have known about this.
If he committed more.
Right? How much more committed can you be?
Like Rob said, actually dying from the heart attack would have been really committed.
Go all the way or go home.
Look, he's the one. He's the only one left.
Go home.
He's the only one who left the whole season on a cliffhanger because he gave that weird look to the camera, like, I'm still possessed, guys. I'm having heart attacks, but I think the God helmet.
Or do they?
I'm pretty sure that would have been the end of filming there. And I think you said they were on like day 27. If they lost a guy on day 27 and they couldn't use any of this footage, they were like, but that's not an option. We need to keep him alive at least until this thing comes out.
Yeah, because they'd have to have it signed off.
We
by
need
all
to
the
possess
family.
this man
It's just
again.
a hassle.
Stat.
They have to finish those 28 days. If they don't, they can't call it that. Then they have to make up some bullshit about, it's a 27-day cycle.
Yeah, because their integrity's at stake at that point.
The ghost of Ed and Lorraine Warren would haunt your ass after that. Like, you couldn't even get through 26 days.
Yeah. But I don't think Ed and Lorraine Warren would be able to even haunt you for 28 days straight because they never stayed at any of these places for 28 days strate.
Well, they were busy, okay? They left this to other professionals.
And spirits continued to be busy, so...
Yeah. And he's staying busy with his gumbo, his paranormal gumbo. And here, I like this part too, because a lot of us look at Jereme like a superhero, right? I mean, it's hard not to. But here, he reminds us that he is still a very... here he's going to remind us, though. He is still a very humble and regular person.
I am a normal person, okay? I'm not Superman. And even though I've been a demonologist, and I am a very good demonologist, and I've worked some really high-profile cases, I am still human. I'm capable of making mistakes. I should have never laid down my sword, for one. And number two, I should have never told it that in order to get to Brandy, that it had to go through me. But my thinking at the time was I had to be the protector. And look, I say this to everybody that always comes to me, Nick, and they say, Jereme, how can I get into demonology? I always tell them, don't. And the reason why is because once you open that door, it can never be shut. You have to understand the dangers that these entities will forever haunt you, all right, or stalk you is the better word I should use, waiting for you to be spiritual vulnerable so that they can seek revenge on you. All right, you have to live the rest of your life with a bullseye or a target on your back.
Close enough. Okay, I gotta say, this is something that has always annoyed me with Jereme. He's always saying, don't ever dare try demonology, but he also teaches classes, and he's got an entire podcast devoted to the craft of demonology. He still posts about taking his online classes. You can take Demonology 101 and Spiritual Warfare for $50 each. It's like this weird,
if I've ever heard it.
Well, it's like a weird gaslighting where he gatekeeps demonology, but then he sells it to you. It's like,
I think it's not so much gatekeeping as that he just really wants to like beef up how brave he is. And it's like, I mean, I'm such a martyr. I take this on. Don't you do it because you just can't handle the stuff that's being thrown at me constantly.
Well, Drea,
but I can handle it.
Drea, the thing is about demonology is that it's a lot like Pringles. Like once you pop, you just can't stop.
Well, I was going to say it's more like firefighting where you're fighting the flames of hell coming at you and you've got your spiritual hose and you're spraying your Jereme.
Potato chips as well, though. I'm just trying to say you can't stop eating them once you start.
It's like being in the mafia.
Basically, I just want to eat more.
Once you're in the
I'm just
mafia,
hungry right now, is all I'm trying to say.
Super hungry.
I want Popeyes.
Because we're talking way too much about Popeyes and gumbo. That's the power that he's putting over us.
I'm fucking hungry now.
I've got one final clip from this premiere episode of Paranormal Gumbo. Look, I'll say Unbelievers, go subscribe to Paranormal Gumbo. Give them 5 stars, man. Support these dudes.
Really helping him out here.
Don't waste your fucking plug section on this shit.
I'll say it later too. So
join the Patreon before you do that. But do that as well.
you'll hear more of this show on our Patreon.
Who definitely makes money already on a fucking
We've
TV
curated
show.
a lot of his content on our Patreon.
Thanks, Russ.
Just throw that out there.
This is a final clip for tonight of Paranormal Gumbo, where Jereme and co-host Nick, who is cool, I said that, they talk about some of the negativity they've received following the release of the show. This is where he's going to address some of the criticism that might have come for 28 Days Haunted.
I'm not an actor. Everything that you seen on there is real. There's nothing that was fake. And that's another thing, Nick. Everybody always complains that they wanted a true, unscripted paranormal show. And then when they get one, they're still not satisfied. They still say it's fake.
28 Days is a global product, and we're getting people all around the world that are excited to see our shows. But us, the cast, and the proof is in our group chat that, yes, the cast has a group chat, and we only focus on the crappy reviews.
The negative.
Can you believe this review? Can you believe that review? And our cast chat has never been like, oh, man, look at this review. Somebody, said they like Jereme, or somebody said they like Brandy. And
I wonder if this group chat is going to talk about our review here. That's an exciting prospect. If you're in the group chat for 28 Days Haunted, just want to say hi, what's up? This is Drea and Rob and Russ and Jack. How are you guys doing?
And we love Nick and then nobody else.
I love this clip here, though, man. This is we've said some things that people might have taken slightly insulted, maybe Jereme, but I've never said anything insulting as this.
Our cast chat has never been like, oh man, look at this review. Somebody, said they like Jereme.
Why would you say that to your co-host? I love it, Nick. That was a great little.
It pretty much like gives us a little bit of insight to how many of those reviews were we hate Jereme.
Well,
clearly, right? He went in that direction.
Just because it's on Netflix doesn't mean people are watching it.
No, it's a global phenomenon.
Like it.
No, it's trending. It's always like
Netflix
top 5
anymore.
This show
I had
did
to
great.
sign up for just a month trial just to watch this shit.
No,
What
I
is
think you're in the
Netflix
minority. It's doing great. It's a global phenomenon. 28 Days Haunted.
True.
People are watching it all over the world.
Phenomenon?
It is. It really is.
It's phenomenal that it's still up.
So we're coming close. And look, I have more paranormal gumbo moments to get into. I'm saving that for a bonus episode. Well, we're gonna wrap this up right now because they get into some crazy stuff on that show. But I want to ask you, Jack Sass, what are your final thoughts about Team Jereme and all of this demon activity?
I think the one thing I've learned from all of this is that if I ever get some sort of demon in my house, all I have to do is just yell at it and it'll go away. Just yell, get out, and it'll
Get
go
away. You got
it long enough.
Get away. Get off my back. Leave me alone.
Off of me!
That's Jack.
What do you think about the whole the 28-day
But the whole
cycle?
28 day, I just feel like they just wanted to get like an Airbnb somewhere and get away from their families for like 28 days.
That makes sense.
They just needed a vacation.
They could only book it for February, and they just made his whole tale that no, it has to be 28 days. We have 1 month here.
It's got to be.
He slept for 3 days straight.
He did. He really did. He was
food.
possessed for 3 of the days. So he only, he was haunted during those times. So
And then he spent like another one in
It
a
was a
hospital
vacation.
too.
Oh, yeah, what
he
a
got to
lazy
leave. He broke the cycle. He got to leave.
Yeah,
he did.
It negates the show, really.
Technically, they have to
right.
come back for a second season.
Oh shit!
Oh, we have to watch 3 days of him just sitting there going, I'm so glad I solved the mystery here. I'll get to those canned goods now. No, they're not going to do that. All right, Rob, what are your final thoughts on the whole 28-day phenomenon and this team and everything?
I'm strangely proud of Jereme for making it all the way to Netflix because I feel like we've been following this guy since he was, just out there on the internet radios, basically doing spots, with us, basically, right alongside us.
Do you remember when I called him as JC that one time on that show? Yeah. We have a long history with you, Jereme. You might not know it. You're probably hearing this now.
He's not listening.
Strangely proud. If he's made it this far, then good
they're
for
talking
him.
about it in the
But
cast.
I don't think
cast
he would
group.
make it this far in this listening to this episode, but I do, just like I couldn't make it very far watching his show, so it makes perfect sense.
Hey.
But I'm just saying, honestly, this is probably one of the worst ghost hunting shows I've ever
Come
seen,
on.
and that's about it. I mean, it's great that they have a weird little premise involving they somehow loop their Warrens into this like loosely for no reason, but it's fine. It's fine, guys. Go watch it.
Sure. All right. And of course, everyone is dying to know. Drea, Mora, what are your final thoughts?
I kind of have to agree with Rob that it's good to have on while you're doing chores. If you're gonna sit and pay attention and invest your time and get emotionally invested, you're just gonna have all of your effort shat on. It's not good. It's not good. It's dumb. I hate it. Okay.
All right, Drea hates it. And so
She's getting looser and looser as she describes her feelings on
because
this.
I was trying to think of a nice way to wrap it up, and I'm like, I can't. Like, honestly, it made me
honest.
angry.
No, this is your five
That's a
thrust.
5-star review.
We are
Yeah.
just like that
It
dead,
pisses
just
you
like
off.
possessed dad. We're coming with both barrels for all of our kids this year. And so we're going to wrap this up for now. And I don't know, what should the poll be? I came up with, I think this week's poll should be, is 28 Days Haunted a real paranormal experiment? Do you like that for the poll? Or it could be yes, no, or other. Or do you like something else? What do you think for the poll?
I like that because it's clean and simple and easy.
Well, there we go. So just go to unbelieverspodcast.com to vote. And we're going to get out now with a Cajun Demonologist song mashup that I made specially for this episode,
Ooh.
inspired
DJ Rus.
by our music. And Paranormal Gumbo, feel free to use that song, mashup as you see fit. Hey, I'll send it to you if you guys want to use it. So yeah, wow. So much fun being back. Get back. We are back and covering, man, a whole series of a show. Coming hot out of the gate with this new series of episodes, man. That was a lot of fun.
They're getting crazy with all these Beatle remixes that they're putting out there. I know they keep doing these reissues, but I haven't heard that one yet. This is the first time I've heard that one. I think they got they got George Martin's kid to produce that one. I'm pretty sure. Was that maybe I'm thinking of something
Netflix
else.
got the rights to the Beatles. I don't know how they did it, but that was
Oh my God, our YouTube is that's definitely getting cut off our YouTube. Unfortunately,
parody.
They don't like Beatles. They don't like us using Beatles songs. I don't think, but I'm pretty sure.
If I were the Beatles, I'd be upset as well.
Yeah, they're definitely going to slap us for that one. But otherwise,
we deserve
great,
it.
Russ. Good job.
Hey, it's okay, guys.
I am a demonologist.
All right, maybe I'll take his classes. I'll be able to say that for myself. So
it's like that. It's like Jim Carrey on like when he's running out to the plane. He's like, "I'm a limo driver." It's literally like the same thing. Like, I'm a demonologist. It's like got nothing
Here's
to do with anything.
credentials. Hello.
Yeah.
All right. Well, man, I know this one has gone a little bit long, so I've got some emails I want to get to. We'll get to that next week. We'll be back with more normal, not so epic episodes as this. But now let's, I don't know, Jack Sass, we're going to do something we do at the end of every show, and that is
poll results.
All right, last year's poll. Who is your favorite channeler? And the choices were Ivan Teller, Jeanette Wilson and Healy, Lee Carroll and Cryon, or Daniel Scranton or other. I'm going to ask you, I don't know, Jack Sass. What do you think the unbelievers said?
What was the third one?
It would be Lee Carroll and the Cryon.
Yeah, I'm going with that one.
All right. How about you, Rob Okey?
Oh, man. I think it's got to be the OG. It's got to be the original, man. It's got to be, what the fuck is his name again?
Ivan?
You were buying yourself time to try to remember.
You know, that guy, what's his name?
He was the drunk guy.
You're like
guy,
talking to yourself.
You know what I mean? The guy who did that thing that time that was fucking
Sure,
funny.
he saw 7 Palladian ships hanging out recently.
Robin Williams. That's who I'm talking about.
Show us Robin.
Victoria's Secret models. Of course, Ivan Teller. All right, how about you, Drea Mora?
Well, I mean, I'm just going to say Daniel Scranton then.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
Why not
congratulations.
just bounce
Jack
that?
Sass and Rob Okey tied
Great.
with only,
all right.
with only 5.2% of votes. Daniel Scranton, 0%. No one buys.
No one wants
That's no one's favorite
anyone's
Chandler.
favorite.
Everybody wants bleep, bloop, bleep, blop, bleep, blah.
No
Nobody
one's
wants to
favorite
hear that shit
Chandler
anymore.
being Daniel Scranton. But of course, there are others. Who is your favorite Chandler? I think Bruce Springsteen said it best. 57 Chandlers and nothing's on. Signed, Taylor. All right, I like that. That's a good one.
Wow.
There are a lot of Chandlers out there. Thank you, Taylor. Who is your
Bruce
favorite
Springsteen.
Chandler? That's the thing about Cryon. They get older, I stay the same age. Signed Rob Okey, host quotes. Wait a minute.
What? Oh,
Yeah, no.
I love it.
I remember that one. I do remember that one.
Rob's like, I'll
All
claim
right,
it.
Rob
I do
Okey.
remember that one.
All right.
I'm voting for that one for
Somehow
now.
in the lead. Who's your favorite Chandler? Big, thick Pleiadian ships with their Star Trek engines. Yes, there's like 7 of them. Signed, Ramadas. Yeah, they want to hear
There's
it.
like 7 of them,
The 7
yeah.
ships are the best. That's one of the best Ivan Teller quotes I've heard in a long time.
Can you talk about the Palladian ships that are around my house?
Yes, there's like 7 of them.
Thank you, Ramadas, for that new great classic. Ivan Teller always delivers. And hey, you think I stalked Jereme Leonard? I've been stalking Ivan Teller too. His live streams
I mean, how can
are
you
great.
not?
Yeah, he was talking about some weird shit the other night. I'll save it. Who's your favorite Chandler? At New Year, after a refreshing bottle of scotch, I channeled a very angry, belligerent, and foul-mouthed and T2 with no ads. Signed, K. Mill. And Tidu? I don't know. A very foul-mouthed and Tidu with no ads. Hey, but all right, K. Mill. The one thing we say about this show and yours is that
we never have ads, and we never will.
Thank you, K. Mill. And I have a new clip for you, K. Mill. We always had we don't know, but Jereme Leonard actually said,
What was that?
I don't know.
the podcast with K. Mill. There you go, K. Mill. Who's your favorite Chandler? If you don't shit right, you get beaten with the stick. Yours truly, Dudu Bin Laden. Thank you, Dudu Bin Laden.
What?
All right.
I don't know, but I love the sign off.
What's happening?
Who is your favorite channeler? My old dad used to call being with a woman channeling, but I think that's different to this. Signed, scared, of course. Scared of my dad guy. Thank you, scared of my dad guy. Never has a sound clip because he doesn't need it. Thank you, scared of my dad guy. Welcome back. Who's your favorite channeler? It's me, providing I can get my animal psychomelon to be fully understood on. Signed, Gazoo, the great and terrible. Thank you, Gazoo. Psychomelon.
Alamosa, Colorado 1. Is that understood,
Understood, yes.
Yes, thank you.
Don't worry.
Understood, Gazoo, the great and terrible. Thank you. Who's your favorite channeler? We woke up feeling pretty 3D this morning. It lasted over 4 hours. Does anyone have Dr. Sprinkle's phone number? Signed, Whooping Hooper. Wow, it's a loaded one, Whooping Hooper. I love that one.
Just message me later.
How 3D do you want to be?
How 3D do you want to be? But of course.
I had an erection for like 6 hours afterwards, and it was pretty painful.
All right, thank you so much to Whooping Hooper, who I guess he's got some kind of clip too, doesn't he?
Oh, of course he does. He always does.
That was the Dungarvan Hooper. That was hooping.
Thank you, Whooping Hooper. Who is your favorite channeler? David Lee Roth is my captain on the Panama Channel with Saint Van Hermain. Saint Van Hermain, like Saint Germain, Saint Van Hermain, trademark, signed AIP. Okay. Thank you, AIP. I wish we had some DLR, some David Lee Roth to play in here, but we can give.
Oh, yeah! That's what I'm saying.
Maybe I fooled everyone one time. All right.
Yeah.
There it was.
Thank you, AIP. Who is your favorite channeler? Hey, man, it's okay. Sometimes we all need a shoulder to cry on. Signed, Unbeliever Maxwell. Whoa.
Oh, I love that. I love that.
I never said that. I am Cryon.
Thank you, Unbeliever Maxwell. You were in the lead. Who is your favorite channeler? Anyone willing to channel their way into this freaking office so I can have a break is my new hero. Signed, Corrupted Mask and his hair salon trio. Okay.
I knew it was him.
Oh, okay.
Did you? Thank you, Corrupted Mask, for that one. All right. Who is your favorite channeler? Skeletor, Master of the Universe. Signed, Diddy Kong. Oh, Diddy Kong chiming in.
Flagrantly using clips now at this point.
Skeletor, the master of the universe.
Oh, thank you so much to the song classic.
Diddy Kong.
Right, yeah. Thank you, Diddy Kong, very much. Thank you, Diddy Kong. Who's your favorite channeler? Kathleen Roberts. She's a channeler and OnlyFans model. Ivan Teller couldn't pay me to look at his titties, let alone a monthly sub. Signed, Rocco. Oh, thank you so much, Rocco.
Rocco coming in hot, dude.
Rocco's Modern Life makes sense.
Thank you so much, Rocco. Come on, he wants Kathleen Roberts. I think we can give it to him. Thank you, Rocco. Who's your favorite channeler? Rob, okay. All the others smell like Obi, Obo, Bo, 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 Bo. All right, but you didn't sign off. Oh, man.
What does that end part mean? I recognize the first part.
I think it stands for maybe the Obi, but...
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Hey, yeah, there it is. The okay. Thank you, Bob.
How Rob starts his mornings.
Who is your favorite channeler? Chandler Bing is my favorite channeler. Signed, misreading the question guy. Oh, I like this guy.
That's fun.
I love that.
Welcome aboard, Miss.
Okay, I thought I had a winner before, but that, oh man, that's neck and neck.
Oh, season 5 is coming in hot. I love it.
You're great. And finally, who is your favorite channeler? Watch out for those Victoria's Secret models filling their pants. Signed, Pants Filler, of course. All right. I don't know. Give him his Ivan Teller and his pants filling. Well, we can figure this out.
I don't know if we have the Victoria's Secret clip, but I can give him Cookie Elf.
Is it the keyboard elf? Is a cookie elf?
Not quite the same, but of course this guy's always be
throwing up and
filling my pants.
Man, it's coming out hot this season, this year. Thank you so much, everyone. Man, we got some good ones. I'm gonna, I'll start off with some of the ones I liked. I really did like Ramadas with big, thick Pleiadian ships with Star Trek engines. Yes, there's like 7 of them. There was also Doo-doo Bin Laden. If you don't shit right, you get beaten with the stick. You're
Jellyfish.
Oh,
jellyfish.
Jellyfish.
So many good ones. Also, Drea Mora, who did you like?
Dude, I'm torn between Unbeliever Maxwell and Misreading the Questions guy. Like, we all need a shoulder to cry on is fucking hilarious.
Yes. Unbeliever Maxwell. Hey, man,
really
it's okay. Sometimes we need a shoulder to cry on is a great one. And who else did you mention? You also liked
Chandler Bing.
Chandler Bing's good, but you had signed Misread the Question guy. Chandler Bing is my favorite Chandler. Yes, that's also a great one. Rob Okey, who stood out to you?
Rocco.
You liked Rocco. Okay. You liked, we had, of course, we had Rocco with Kathleen Roberts. He's a Chandler and OnlyFans model. Ivan Teller couldn't pay me to look at his titties, let alone a monthly sub. How about you, Jack Sass? Who did you enjoy in this poll?
Yeah, I was kind of torn between Doo-doo Bin Laden and Unbeliever Maxwell, but I'm gonna have to go with Unbeliever Maxwell.
All right. Well, I'm going to back you up and Dre up as well. Congratulations with the first victory this season. Unbeliever Maxwell. Hey, man, it's okay. Sometimes we all need a shoulder to cry on. You just won this week's poll results.
I feel like we should have a whole nother segment for like pun of the week.
I know, right? I feel like there's more people that need recognition than just one person. It's just
I know, but
they're
too
great
good.
though. The listeners,
you've got a whole year to keep at it, everyone. Thank you for all the new poll resulters or the old ones switching their names. Who gives a shit? They're always great, but these were awesome. But we come to the end of the program. Before we go, I'll say, Jack Sass, do you have anything you would like to say or plug?
Oh, yeah. Obviously, you can check Drea and I out on Spirits and Spirits. We got that going on. And you can check out my other show I have that I just kind of do randomly here and there called Snacking with Jack. Just go look it up. It's out there somewhere.
Absolutely. Go check it out. I've been a guest on it. Rob has been a guest on it. Drea has been a guest on it. It's a great show. Drea's always a guest on it. How about you, Drea Moore? You have anything to say or plug?
No, because Jack stole all my plugs.
You're welcome.
So I just want to say thank you to everyone who is back with us and listening in the new year.
Absolutely.
Keep on rocking in the new year.
How about you, Rob?
I just want to say thank you to everybody for coming back as well. Shout outs to everybody who joined us for the charity stream, everybody who donated and has prizes coming. They're coming soon. I just wanted to take a minute real quick to just shout out a few people. I know Pamsy was a big donator. The Filler family, Joe Filler helped us out a lot. Rod helped us out a lot. There was a whole bunch of unbelievers. You guys who always come back and always show support, especially for the charity streams. Thank you guys so much. I think we donated something like $800 or something
awesome.
to ASPCA this year. So you guys made that happen. And that's a positive thing that the Unbeliever community did for the world last year. So just thank you guys. And check out my Instagram also, at Rob Okey.
Yeah, check out at Rob Okey on Instagram. Yeah, I just want to say, go follow us on YouTube. And patreon.com/Unbelievers Podcast. We released our first ever video bonus episode while we were on the off season. There's going to be more to come. There's going to be more live streams to come. So if you follow us on YouTube, you can see those live streams or on Twitch or wherever. And I'm going to say, I've been doing these credits for a few years now. And as much as I love all the patrons, I thank you for the support. It's so hard to read every individual one. It's just too much. So if you're at the $10 level and you get that official title, that's all I can read. I can't go through the 20 or 30 mics every time. It's killing the show. You guys know who you are.
I mean, if they get that $10 donation and you go through those mics, we'll see what happens, man.
Yeah,
if they join that tier. If you really want your name said, join the tier, $10.
Yeah, you got to get the official title now because that's it. The Unbelievers Podcast hosts today were Drea Mora, Jack Sass, and me, Rus Ryan. Our producer and soundboard engineer is Rob Okey. Our editor is Eisa YZ. You can join our Patreon by going to patreon.com/Unbelievers Podcast. You can follow the show on Twitter at Unbelievers Pod and Instagram at Unbelievers Podcast. Our Facebook group is the Unbelievable Podcast Network. And check out our merch store at TeePublic. There's a link in the description. Our music advisor is Pandora3373. Our official composer and theme song creator is Unbeliever Aaron, aka Aaron Shilb. Follow him on Instagram at the Aaron Shilb. Our official graphic designer and card maker who designed our logo is Raymond Roel. Check out his work at P Raven Creative on Twitter and Project Raven Creative on Instagram. Our official Guardian of the Bench is at Kraken Stacker. Our official Alien Bopper is Nunchuck Bop. And from Patreon, our official Big Island Paranormal Friendly Weatherman is Green Finhawk. Our official procrastinator is Jeffrey Hartneriff. Our official Baby Yoda publicist is Pam Z. Our official Unbeliever listening between the stations for a message from Art Bell is Scott E. Our official Unbeliever Raising Punk Wedgies is Joe Filler. Our official Madman is Unbeliever Adam. Our official Unbeliever Time Traveler is Taylor Nelson. Our official Snack is Jack S. Our official Ghost Hunter is Amelia Childs and Ghost Hunting in New England. And of course, Hubie Halloween on Netflix. Our official Senior European Correspondent is Kay Mill of the I Don't Know podcast. Our official Unbelievers in need of titles are Mike Henry, Todd X, Lid Vicious, Sandra and Devil Foles, Ramiro, Trash Baby, Adam Dvorak, and the Wombat Preservationist. Guys, you all need official titles. If you don't give them to us, we will assign them. And this week,
yes, that's new this year. That's going to happen.
It will happen. We will, if you do not get back to us, we will assign you official titles on the next bonus episode. And this week's Unbeliever Focus is Stephen Dealstra, who reached out with some great episode suggestions for this year. You know, there's some good ones. They weren't all winners, but I would definitely be excited to talk about
Hexes, spells, witchcraft, black magic, diabolical.